Thanks for clicking on this video. Please consider liking and subscribing to the channel. This is Bulma's Bold Wish Becoming a Saiyan for the Ultimate Battle, Dragon Ball Z Fan Story Part 2, also known as What If Bulma Became a Saiyan Part 2. And I recommend you check out Part 1 if you haven't seen it yet, so you understand what's going on with Part 2. Now, let's continue, shall we? With the remaining time before the Dragon Team would meet the androids in battle, as the mysterious young Saiyan from the future predicted, Bulma, now a Saiyan thanks to the Dragon Balls, sparred with her husband Vegeta. They were in their final preparations for the battle ahead, until Bulma realized they were running late. Vegeta had sent something off. "Blast! I don't get it! I can't sense the androids! I can only sense those weaklings! Why can't I sense the androids?" Vegeta cursed. Bulma's eyes widened as she put the pieces together. "Because they're androids, Vegeta! We can't sense their energy! We need to hurry!" The urgency of the situation led to a heated argument. "Stay here, woman, and watch the brat," Vegeta scoffed as he flew off, impulsively. Bulma's blood boiled. She had wished to become a Saiyan for a reason, so she could assist in these battles and do her part. The Dragon Team are always sacrificing themselves in order to defend the planet. Bulma felt she had to do her part in order to protect the one she loved. "No way, Vegeta! I'm not staying behind! Mom, Dad, can you watch Trunks for a bit?" She called back to her parents, who nodded in agreement. Without another word, she flew after Vegeta. Vegeta growled in frustration. "You're going to get yourself killed, woman!" Bulma merely smirked, her Saiyan instincts kicking in. "Well then, you better keep up." As they flew, the tension between them simmered down, replaced by a shared determination. They both knew what was at stake, and neither was willing to back down. The cityscape below blurred as they soared through the sky. Bulma could feel the adrenaline pumping through her veins. This was what she had been waiting for, a chance to prove herself, to stand with her husband and the rest of the Dragon Team. They flew by the city where they were supposed to meet everyone, but no one was there. Half the city destroyed. Vegeta could sense the battling was continuing, and they also spot Yajirobe drying off from his recent swim. It is then Vegeta sensed Kakarot, who was losing power fast, and he and Bulma flew on. "Kakarot, you idiot! You never took your heart medication. That must be it. No way a bucket of bolts could beat a Super Saiyan," Vegeta declared. "Let's make this quick," Vegeta muttered, his eyes scanning the area for any signs of the androids. "Stay close, Bulma." Bulma nodded, her eyes fierce and focused. "I've got your back." The battle had begun, and Bulma was ready to show the world what she was capable of. Meanwhile, Goku struggled to fight on. Ever since the day started, he had been winded, huffing and puffing from just flying around. He was sluggish, sloppy, not thinking straight. As Goku grew weaker, Android 19 stayed stronger, with Android 20 loving every minute of this. "Kamehameha!" Goku fired, only to have Android 19 absorb it, increasing 19's power. Goku's Super Saiyan form burned out as Goku returned to his base form. Goku would fall this day. Android 19 was about to finish him off when Vegeta and Bulma came charging in, double-teaming 19 and sending him crashing into a crumbling mountain. "Kakarot, you have embarrassed us long enough," Vegeta scolded. Bulma didn't appreciate Vegeta's treatment of Goku, but nevertheless, they had to get Goku home and give him the antidote to the heart virus. The Dragon Team was surprised to see Bulma, not to mention what she had just done. She had delivered a powerful blow to 19 and was wearing Saiyan armor. "Bulma, what have you done to yourself?" Krillin exclaimed, eyes wide in shock. "Simple," Bulma replied, her voice steady and confident. "I used the Dragon Balls to make myself into a Saiyan. No more letting you boys do all the fighting. I have something to protect too." Now Yamcha, like in the original, flies Goku away, Piccolo insisting that Gohan join them. Seeing that the battle was about to turn in their favor, there wasn't much point really for Gohan to really be there. So Piccolo sent him away. Gohan reluctantly follows. Vegeta, in the meantime, insisted no one interfere as he battled Android 19 himself, powering up to a Super Saiyan. Now, Android 19 assumed, incorrectly, that this would be another easy win, having fought Goku, who was also a Super Saiyan. However, just like the original, Vegeta outmatches Android 19 in every way. Bulma looked at Android 20, a sense of familiarity dawning on her. "Hey Krillin, who's the geezer? Is he the other android? Because he looks like Dr. Gero to me." Android 20's eyes widened in fear. No one was supposed to know his true identity. Meanwhile, the battle between Vegeta and 19 raged on, with Vegeta dominating. "Tell me, do you androids experience fear?" Vegeta sneered as 19 tried to run away in fear. "Here's a little something for the scrap pile! Ah!" Vegeta finished off 19 with a powerful ki blast. Android 20 was becoming afraid and was ready to back off when he was stopped by Bulma. "Where are you going, Dr. Gero?" she taunted, delivering a swift kick that sent Gero to the ground. It looked like he was on his knees before Prince Vegeta. Vegeta smirked down at the defeated android. "This is the end for you." Bulma, standing beside Vegeta, felt a surge of pride. She had proven herself, and together they had shown the androids what true Saiyan power looked like. Vegeta stared at the crumpled form of Android 20, confused etched on his face. "What do you mean this is Dr. Gero? Didn't the brat from the future say he's supposed to be dead?" Gero chuckled darkly. "The future? I see. So that's how you knew we were coming. Curious." He turned his gaze to Bulma, his eyes narrowing. "You must be Bulma Briefs. Yes, I see it now. You are the daughter of that lightweight inventor, Dr. Briefs. He and the rest of the scientific community mocked me. They will all pay the price for their insolence, for their lack of vision, after I'm through with you." Bulma merely smirked, her Saiyan instincts taking over. You talk too much, old man. She lunged at Gero, attacking him with fierce determination. Vegeta, despite his initial reluctance, found himself grateful for her support. Battling Android 19, after all, had drained him of some of his energy, and having his wife there as backup wasn't completely unbearable, though he was still mad at her for what he considered an embarrassment to his race. You know, the whole Bulma wishing to be a Saiyan. You can't wish to be a Saiyan! It's in you! Despite all that, she was showing a lot of promise. The husband and duo fought side by side, their synergy evident as they delivered blow after blow to Gero. Eventually, Gero fell, beaten, defeated, and eventually dead. They could go home, or so they thought. Just then, future Trunks had arrived on the scene. Look, Trunks is back, Piccolo shouted, pointing to the sky. Both Bulma and Vegeta froze in their tracks, their minds racing. Trunks? Trunks? They thought simultaneously. That's our son's name! As they began putting the two and two together, the realization dawned on them. The Super Saiyan from the future was indeed the future version of their son. However, Trunks had more pressing concerns at the moment. He noticed the two destroyed androids, shook his head. These aren't the monsters I faced, he declared, his voice filled with urgency. And as he explained to the Dragon Team the details of the androids he had faced, describing them in vivid detail. As he spoke, suddenly, this red light began to blink on Dr. Gero's hat, signaling a final trap he had set. Elsewhere, inside the lab of Dr. Gero, these mechanical storage sarcophaguses labeled 17 and 18 opened. The androids from the future were now finally activated. This isn't over, Trunks warned, his eyes filled with determination. We need to stop the androids before it's too late. If this was indeed Dr. Gero, they can't be active yet, though they haven't noticed the blinking light. The battle was far from finished, and the Dragon Team began looking for the lab. Luckily, with Bulma's inclusion in the Dragon Team, she knew how to find Gero's lab, so locating it wasn't the issue. Meanwhile, inside the lab, 17 and 18 were, well, having a bit of fun in the lab. Not really that curious to why they've woken up. They are a little curious, but they know Dr. Gero had the tendency to keep them boxed up. They knew they were too dangerous for the Doctor. So as they were walking around the lab, an automatic recording from the good Doctor began playing on the computer. It became clear and evident that Dr. Gero had met his end. Is that geezer still talking? 18 groaned, her impatience evident, and with a swift blast, she blew up the screen and the message. That's much better. Good riddance. It sounds like the good doctor bought it, 17 remarked with a smirk. Their attention was then drawn to a larger stasis chamber labeled 16. But before they could open it, their curiosity piqued like children, the Dragon Team arrived. Stand out of the way, boy! Vegeta commanded, blowing up the doors with a powerful blast. Now that was rude. Sorry, messed up my voice. Now that was rude, Android 17 said, his tone dripping with sarcasm. You could have knocked, Vegeta. I agree, Android 18 added. I think we should show them some manners. Vegeta scoffed, clearly unimpressed. You've got to be kidding me! These are the androids we've heard so much about? 2 punk kids? Really? Future Trunks, recognizing the danger. No! His emotions get the better of him as he unleashed a powerful blast, trying to blow the evil duo away right then and there. The explosion sent debris flying. Everyone got cleared. The smoke cleared. The Dragon Team braced themselves. Future Trunks was beside his parents, his face, a mix of anger and determination. But as the explosion was completely clear, 17 and 18 were completely fine. Now, parked atop a flat mountain top, an Android 18 opened the stasis chamber, releasing the gigantic Android 16, like in the original story. They then flew away to a nearby highway, with Android 17 wanting to commit Grand Theft Auto for a bit of fun as they make their way to Goku's, in order to kill him. Now, Vegeta, just like in the original, got ahead of himself, flew ahead to show off his Super Saiyan might and engage the androids. And just like the original, Android 18 volunteers to fight him. The rest of the Dragon Team, could only watch in horror as 18 was making sport of him. Vegeta grew weaker as 18 remained stronger. Ultimately, Vegeta was beaten, humiliated. Trunks, witnessing his father's defeat, fired in, only to be intercepted and beaten by Android 17. The same fate befell Piccolo, Tien Shinhan. Krillin remained behind, horrified at the sight before him. Bulma, witnessing her husband and her future son fall before the androids, felt a rage building within her, even as she stared at her unconscious future version of her son. She can't help but picture her little bundle of joy back at home. Her blue hair began to rise, straighten, become spiky, and in astonishing transformation. Her hair turned gold and her eyes pupil became green. Bulma was now a Super Saiyan. Now I know what you guys figured. DB Rai would Bulma have been strong enough to pull off the transformation? I would say yes. Remember, in the previous part, Bulma spent a lot of time in the grav chamber when she became a Saiyan. She was basically doing a Vegeta during that whole time Vegeta was off world, becoming a Super Saiyan himself. And when you think about it, this means that Bulma spent a lot more time in the grav chamber than Goku did during his 6-day trip to Namek. So yes, Bulma could definitely pull off the Super Saiyan transformation. Though she's not as strong as Vegeta. So 17 and 18, witnessing the transformation, were momentarily taken back. After all, they've seen Vegeta using the transformation, but this would be the first time they would witness the Ascension transformation to Super Saiyan themselves. And this allowed them to understand what it actually is. But before Bulma could charge in and fight and do anything, 17 simply chimes in, "Don't bother. Your friends are fine." 17 said, "Well, maybe you should hurry up and give them one of those sensu beans. I urge you, don't try and stop us." Krillin, just like in the original, tries to appeal their humanity, while Bulma is sort of struggling to keep herself back within temptation to knock Android 17 and 18's, well, heads off. You know, Super Saiyans tend to get very testy when they first transform. Android 18 smirked and pecked Krillin on the cheek like in the original. "Oh, that's cute," she said, mirroring the original scene. As they turned to leave, 17 glanced back at Bulma, smirking again. "A wise decision," he remarked, before he flew away himself. Bulma stood there, furious with herself. She had done nothing to prevent the carnage. Despite her newfound power, she realized that even with the Super Saiyan transformation, she's just in the same position as Trunks and Vegeta just were. She'd have just been beaten down too. As the dust settled, Krillin approached Bulma, trying to console her. "You did the best you can. Honestly, for your first battle, you've done amazing." Bulma clenched her fist, her determination renewed. "This isn't over. We'll find a way to stop them," she vowed, her eyes filled with a fierce resolve. The Dragon team regrouped, tending to their wounds and preparing for the next phase of the battle. With Bulma now a Super Saiyan, they at least had a little sense of renewed hope. Another Super Saiyan in their ranks definitely will be helpful. But they all knew the road ahead would be fraught with challenges. And that's where we are going to be leaving the story for now. So what do you guys think? We enjoying this tale? Don't forget to show your appreciation by smashing the like button and subscribing to the channel. And I will see you all in the next video. See yous around.